Hello, beauties. Welcome back to another episode. And today is a very juicy, provocative topic that I have for you that is going to transform the way you communicate. But it's not the way you think or you have been told to communicate. In fact, as a woman, forget everything that you have ever been taught on how to communicate your needs and your desires to a man that is using your voice. That's right. If you've ever felt that deep, yearning, aching desire to want to connect to your partner, especially after, let's say, a long day where he's been working, or a day where you've been with the kids and you've maybe been at work and things have been really busy, and yet there's a deep feminine part of you that craves his presence, because the feminine core, we crave their presence and we crave their physical touch. To us, that is just honey nectar to our being. It helps us drop into deeper presence and connection with ourselves and our body. And so most of us as women communicate our needs and our desires primarily through the same way we would communicate in the boardroom, at a meeting, at the grocery store, with our mouth and our words. But men speak the body of energy, sound, and that is the ultimate way to communicate. In fact, 80% of our communication has nothing to do with our words. Yeah, that's right. So here's an invitation to embody more of the feminine invitation for deep presence and deeper connection in a way that's playful and also really proficient in the skills of the feminine arts. And it's in a way that's going to draw him in closer to you instead of a way that's going to actually repel and push him away from you. So let's talk about it in this episode, all about how to speak from your pussycat. Prrr, how to speak from your Yoni. If you like that terminology better, I like pussycat because y'all know that I am the one and only pussy priestess, and I love saying the word as much as I can, as often as I can. And for those of you that are easier to digest with the word Yoni, let's go with Yoni as well. Either way, whatever you want to call her, it is your most deepest, your most sensual truth at the core. And it is where he's going to feel you so much deeper than his words could ever hear you. So let's get right on into it. So if you're like me or any of the hundreds of women I have coached all around the world, you crave your partner's presence, touch, energy. You crave it. And no matter how much shopping you do, no matter how many items you buy, no matter how many deals you get, no Amazon shopping, no couture shopping, nothing is going to fill that void you feel when you are seeking and longing for connection. No amount of food, no amount of gym workouts, no amount of exercise is going to ever be able to touch that core essence of the feminine that is designed to seek and attract and call in the highest, deepest presence of the masculine. And what happens when a lot of women come to me is they're trying to communicate their deepest needs and desires from their words, and their words come out needy. The words can come out as criticism. Their words can come out in a way that actually shuts their partner down, shuts the masculine down. Because the moment that it comes out as needy from you, from a place of, I need this connection, versus let's grow in this, or versus, which I'll get into, is like, and I'll show you what is and what isn't. So keep listening on. From a needy place versus a full place versus a desired place versus an invitation to actually give versus need, it completely transforms the dynamic. And in fact, you'll get, after listening to this episode and applying these practices, you will get so much more playful, deep, present connection with your man, your lover, your partner, by applying these practices. No doubt. It works like a charm. Why? Because it's scientifically proven that men are more in their bodies consistently than women. That's why we as women need to do so many different embodiment practices to get us to be in our body. We're more ethereal, we're more watery, we're more flowy, we're more energetic, we're more kind of at the heart and a little bit flowing for the most part, right? And when you are really identified with that femininity. And again, science proves that men are more in their body. Why? It doesn't matter how much you work out, it doesn't matter what's going on. We have more emotions as the feminine. Men have emotions, but we have way more emotions. The amount of depth, we are like the ocean, and men are like the mountain. Mountain is earth, mountain is presence, mountain is like body, right? Earth is body. Water, emotions, is flow, right? And that's the beautiful thing around the polarity. But if we're showing up in a way that is criticizing him, that is from a needy place of my bucket is empty and I need you to fill it up, and I've had a really hard day and like I need a massage, and like they're gonna be like, fuck girl, I've also had a really hard day and I could use a massage. And now suddenly he's shut down, you're shut down. You guys kind of maybe bicker or accept that you guys are both just tired and let the desire go and die. That's not what I want for you. That's not what I want for my clients. No, 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 no. I want you to learn how to stroke the flame of the fire so that it goes from the little amber and the little almost ash to it starts to like trickle and undulate and tantalize and starts to build into, you know, a flickering fire. And that flickering fire begins to get brighter and bigger and brighter and bigger until you have the most passionate, playful, connected, loving, like high level relationship you've experienced in your entire life. And again, this is going to be a transformational, provocative, and dare I say, revolutionary approach in how to get your needs met as a woman in your relationship. So here's the thing. When we speak from need, we're not speaking from our deepest, most embodied version of ourselves and the most deepest part of ourselves. As I said, men are like the mountain. And as I said, science, here's a quick little fact, right? Men are creating 3,500 new sperm per minute, every single minute of the day. Millions of sperm, millions, 3 million, 3.5 million, or something crazy like that every single day. So men speak the language of sex. Women are learning how to speak the language of sex. So they come to me. It's the language I had to learn, which is why I love this work so much and why it's like such an mystical, magical, alluring way of being in your feminine when you actually embrace your sexuality and learn the language of sex as a super tool and super communication skill, like high level feminine practice. And I'm inviting you into that through this conversation. Because men speak the language of the body. They're literally, their balls are hot all day. All day long, their balls are hot. They're sitting on it. They're aware of it. They're adjusting it. They're moving it because, again, every single minute, it is creating biologically 3,500 sperm. Like, holy moly, that like blew my mind when I found that out, right? But that's why men are in their body more. And when we say, you know, you got to have big balls, it's like because the balls are outside of the body. For the feminine practice, it's to get into our body and then to communicate our desires as a way that invites deeper connection, not distance or disturbance, because it's coming from the core of our desire. And the core of our desire can be expressed through the power of your pussy, through the power of your yoni. So let's talk about that a little bit, because the power of your pussy-based expression is very, very different than what it is to be speaking from the mind. Right now, I'm speaking from body. My body's moving. If you're watching me on video, I'm engaged with you. I'm taking my really deep breaths, right? My hips are really swaying. My chest is really swaying. I have a smile on my face. I'm breathing in this moment. I'm in my body. I'm in my desire to share this passion that I have for this work and this high level feminine embodiment teachings, the feminine energy for empowerment, this exercise can transform. I'm like, yes, sharing this raw truth with you, it feels so damn good to me to share it. And because it feels so good for me to share it, so good for me to want to share this with you, this energy that you're feeling right now, this transmission, this is what is the ultimate magnetizing force of the feminine to the masculine that wants to lean in. They want to come into this arena. They want to play with this space. Of course, like they want that. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, I can absolutely feel that. It's not even the words, it's the feeling, it's the embodiment. It's me being in my sex and in my womb and in my heart and in my nipples and in my expression. And I'm sharing it with you as a gift to join me in that. This is the practice that I'm going to share with you today on how to do that. And it actually goes even a layer deeper because I used my words in my communication. I'm going to teach you how to actually go even deeper than that. So when we're talking about in this conversation, craving the connection, nowhere in what I just explained to you am I wanting you to understand me. Am I sharing like, I need you to get this, or I need you to like this conversation, or I just like, I really have a desire for like for you to understand this. That's in my throat, that's me outside of my body, that's me in my head. And oftentimes, when we're having a really busy day, when we've been with the kids all day and we're working maybe part-time or full-time and come home and then we're cooking or we're managing and we're craving the connection, we'll go into explaining and delegating because that's what we've been doing the majority of the day. We'll explain why I feel disconnected to him, why I'm craving intimacy, why I'm feeling, bored or lonely or horny, or I'll tell him all the things on why, what I need, what's not happening, what I'm not getting, what's not working, and all of that they hear. And maybe you heard in this, in this little mini masterclass here, maybe you heard the whining, the neediness, right? Neediness is so unsexy. Neediness is so repulsive, not only to the masculine, but to everyone. No one wants to be around someone who's super needy. They want to be around someone who doesn't need them and is inviting them into something greater than their own experience. That's a power of persuasion and influence. You want to influence the situation. You want to influence life to be in your command of what you are desiring, right? And maybe I'll say that for another episode, right? Another episode. But notice, if I'm explaining all the time of what I'm needing and all the things, there's none of my real feeling words or essence intertwined in what I am sharing, right? Zero. And that expression is not really felt in the way that we want it to. In fact, it's not felt at all the way that we're hoping it would be. It's felt, but it's felt in a way that actually shuts them down. And another way, and I'll give you another real life example, could be like, oh, baby, I wish we'd hang out more, or I wish we went on more dates, or like, baby, what I really want is some more alone time, or what I want is more attention, or I want more affection, or I want us to, go on a beach walk at the end of the day. And because I've had such a hard day, and, and just kind of talking, right? It's like very heady, very throat. There isn't much feeling or essence in it. And that's why he's not and has not been up until now responsive to your desires and your request, because you're not expressing the desire from your pussy and your yoni. You're expressing the desire from a place of lack and neediness. Now, here's the difference. The desire still exists as a desire. regardless of the way that we are expressing the energy of that desire. Let me say that one more time. Your desire is well and beautiful and valid and welcomed. The desire is not the problem. There's actually no problem. The opportunities in how you are expressing the desire, either as an invitation or as a way that's going to feel cumbersome and like another task or criticism that's going to shut them down, which is the distancing that you would feel from your partner. And then these stories that would create, oh, he's not into me anymore, or we've lost the passion and we've lost the spark. Well, let's tune in, because we can just switch up the expression in a way that's going to be compelling, commanding, and magnetizing to him, because I bet you he wants it too. Of course he wants it too. Every single man wants it too. And so this is where, again, you hear me say it time and time again, we go first as women in the arena of love, sex, and relationships. We go first. And this is the more that we can own it, and the more that we can skill up, and the more that we can level up as female leads in this unique realm of life, which is what every single human and man wants, what every single partner wants. They're just not skilled in it. And this is our goddess given gifts and talent to be able to access this more easily and readily and guide the men in it. And I'm so here for it. And if you're here on this podcast listening to me, you are too. So I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for going on this journey with me. And let's keep rolling. So let's get into the next second piece about this. So as I mentioned, right, they are very magnetized and draw in. Now, the logical explanation, as I was saying, doesn't work. Why? Because you're explaining. It's not magnetic, right? The feminine expression of that desire, that's sacred and valid and welcomed and gas space, it's felt, not just heard, right? It's that other 80% of the communication that you're not using with your words that becomes an embodied invitation. A man responds more to your energy, to your breath. Notice how I changed my breath right there. Oh, notice how I just changed my tone right there. Oh, notice if you're on video, you can see me rolling my hips and bringing my hand back and like literally like slurping in and calling that energy in like that at the drop of a dime. But then I can go back to this expression and say, baby, I really need you to connect with me. Baby, I really don't feel, I feel you distance from me today. And I really wish we would just like have more time together. Or, mm, 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 mm. 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 Hi, love. I missed feeling your hands on me today. I've been craving you all day. Mm. Ah, it feels so good when you hold me like this. Notice what I just did right there. I told you we were going to be provocative and unabashed in this little mini masterclass. Did I not tell you? Yes. Notice how on command and in demand I am of every single intricacies of the expression of who and how I am being. First with myself. I am aware of the power of my breath that could change everything in a heartbeat. I'm very aware of my voice and my tonality and sound, because I've been doing this practice for 20 years, going on 20 years. Speak some facts here, going on 20 years. It's not 20 years yet, right? And what did I do there, right? What did I do? And I'm going to teach you how to do that right now, right? That's the good news about this podcast here. What I did was I stopped, I breathed, I took a big breath. I breathed really deeply into the present moment from my belly, right? I'm even tapping my belly right now. From my belly, I softened my body. And then I literally dropped into the sensation of my pussy, my yoni, before I began to speak. That right there is the secret sauce to speaking from your pussy and your yoni. It's being in your pussy, being in that energy, being in your body. So, like, notice right now, even wherever you are, like, take a moment. If you're driving, you could do it in the car, be mindful. It's not a closed eyes practice, but wherever you are, literally do this with me. Stop, put your things down, take that left hand, tap it onto the belly, literally start tapping your belly, and then take a couple of deep breaths right here in your belly. Soften your body, soften your jaw, right? And again, the way that I did it, that's a high level of mastery. I'm not expecting you to do that. It's not meant to be perfect at all, right? You're just beginning. So soften the body, soften the belly. And now from your fingers and your hands, start to tap lower, 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 lower onto the top of your clitoris and your pelvic bone. That's right. Now breathe into that area. Take another breath into that area. One more juicy, juicy breath in and start to tap literally on your pussy mound, on your yoni mound. That's right. Tap right there. Feel sensations, aliveness. Wake that pussy cat up. You can't help as a woman but to feel some kind of way about this. Whether it's positive or negative because you're disconnected, that's okay. That's a sign. It's all perfect, right? But find your way to breathe into your pussy, into your yoni, into the sensation of being in there. Because remember, men live from that place. They're in their balls all day long. That's why they seem so powerful or powerhouses or dominating or leaderful or confident or in charge. The men that are dropped into their cock, but really into their, their big ball energy. They got big old balls. This is how you drop into your big pussy energy. Literally by dropping in and bringing your awareness into that space. Now from here, I'm going to run a little exercise with you. Instead of saying, we never spend enough time together, right? From here, I want you to say out loud, run the exercise with me. Why not? You've come this far. Try to say from being dropped into your pussy. And if you feel disconnected, just tap her right on above your clitoris, right where your vulva lips are on your mound, right? And instead say this with your breath, with your tonality. I feel so alive when you hold me like this. Ah, here it is. Can we linger here a little bit longer, baby? Or honey, or boo-boo, whatever you call them. Soft in the voice. From a softer feeling place. Oh, I literally have goosebumps through my whole body. Right. And here's where you're owning your desire without apology. You're letting the turned on version of yourself, the self-honoring woman that is you, be an irresistible invitation. Instead of pretending or hiding your cravings, you're embracing it, right? I ache for you. Can we slow down a little bit and just be together right now in this moment? Oof. Literally, my nipples just got hard. My body is filled with chills because I'm letting that moment, my erotic aliveness, be here. I'm giving myself full permission to speak from my pussy, my yoni, my erotic aliveness. And when we speak, there's a different energy. There's a different tone and tonality. There's different body languages and sounds that are emanating from us and through us. And one of the key things that I when I coach my women, especially in my high level, high end touch mentorship program, we literally go through, real life exercises of how they approach their man, how they approach the guy that they're dating, and what worked, what didn't work. How do we refine it and skill up in our feminine mastery, in the embodiment of the divine feminine energy? And when we do this work, I invite them, and I'll give you a little sample of that, which we've been doing here, but one step further, just because it's in the space and I'm like, I've created the space, let's share it, is when we start to voice the things that we desire, right? We're voicing it from a place of, it would feel so good for me to receive this from you. Oh, right? Very different than I feel disconnected to you. I want more love. Do you love me? Do you still love me? Are you still attracted to me? No. The guy's dick's going to shrivel up. He's going to be distant. He's going to pull away, right? The difference, again, is the expression. So the practice in regards to that is, let's say there was a conflict or there was a misunderstanding, and you have a desire for them to speak to you in a way that feels very protective and supportive and very team oriented versus like blaming or shaming or attacking in any way, right? Because we're human, sometimes we fall into that pattern. So instead of saying, I hate it when you blame me like that, that makes me feel pissed at you and upset, and I just wish that you would just know how to communicate to me so much better and differently, and I wish that we weren't fighting, and I wish that we just had a better relationship. It's like, blah, right? Even though there's a part of your desire that's in there, if you speak from your body and you speak from the raw truth of your yoni, because your pussy will speak loud if you listen, and if you have the audacity to unabashedly express, emote that truth, that's where you become that woman on fire who gets everything that she could ever want in her lifetime, because you are the fire. You transform whatever is thrown your way, and you turn that into gold. So that same example would be, it really hurts my heart. It really hurts my heart. And it makes me feel so sad when we are distant and when we miscommunicate or misunderstand each other, and it just pulls apart our relationship. Because I know it hurts for both of us, and I know it's not what we really want. Because I know, baby, that we're a team. And it feels so much better when we remember that we're a team. And when we show up with love and reverence and respect for each other. Because I see you as the best thing that's happened in my life. And I love you, and I'm devoted to you, and I'm devoted to us, and making this be so much better, because I know we have that possibility. And what would feel so amazing is to receive you in that devotion as well, to feel your protection and your power for us. Because I know that you would never allow anyone else to speak to me that way or to talk about our relationship that way. And oh my God, having you talk about our relationship like it's the most sacred thing, like it is what you are here to do, to guard, to protect. Oh, fuck, is that so sexy to me? Whoo! He's gonna be like, who are you? Who are you? That is a completely different conversation than I guarantee most of you have ever had in your relationship dynamic. Because the first version demands, trying, blaming, only adding to the disconnect. But that secondary invitation Notice I said invitation. It speaks truth in your body, in your core, in your turn on. Got to bring in the language of sex. If you want the man to hear you, right? If you want them to feel you even deeper than just hear you, they gotta feel the openness, the unbridled and unabashed embodiment in your deep feeling. And that, my loves, is what creates irresistible polarity and invites the masculine not only into deeper intimacy with you, but into deeper power of intimacy with himself. You want him to rise as you rise? Here is that invitation. And this is the work of feminine mastery, of how to embody this in the moment. Don't expect that you're going to get it right off the bat and that you'll be able to literally tune in, tap in, access, turn on, emote, and express, right? Like I said, I'm a master at this. I have been practicing at this for almost 20 years. So give yourself grace, right? But remember the practical steps of embodying it in the moment. The first step is your breath. It's to take that pause, to breathe in from the belly, to go deeper and drop into the sensations of your yoni, your pussy, of where that desire actually lives in you. The sex center. We've got to bring the sex center to the conversation, my darlings. It's not going to be full if we don't. And it's a language that men really get and understand. And it's a language that's a part of our journey to master, to skill up at. And when you do that, you feel it before you speak in the moment. Don't get into your head. Tune into what your body is truly craving. Maybe it's safety. Maybe it's touch. Maybe it's slowness. Maybe it's presence, right? Let that attunement start to guide the words and the directions of where you start to express. And again, using invitations, not expectations. So expressing your longing in a way that actually welcomes him into you versus pushes him away from you. So again, I love the way I feel when I melt into your arms. Can we slow down a little bit together here? Right? If you're coming in home and you come home from the day right away and he hugs you and does a quick little, hey baby, how's your day? How's your day? You move around so fast. And like what you actually really want is a deeper, longer, slower hug. That's what I get all the time. I want it. I make it clear. Unabashedly. I am not shy about my desires. And again, it's taken me 20 years to master it, which is why I'm teaching it. So you don't need to take 20 years to learn it. It's just practice, 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 practice. So again, instead of rushing around, stop him. When he hugs you, just take a moment, pause, feel. And if he does walk away or start to walk away, just feel into it. And maybe you practice that one tool here. Oh, wow. I love the way that I feel when I melt into your arms. Can we do that again? Or, can we slow it down together? And again, don't be afraid, right? Because here's where you surrender and receive. Once you've expressed the desire, let go of control. Let go. Trust that he will feel your openness and he will respond in his own way. Because maybe he's not ready in that exact moment. Maybe he's still in focus mode and he's like singular focused. That's okay. Again, this is a practice for you on expressing your desires in a way that's inviting. But I guarantee you that made a lasting impression on his subconscious and on his nervous system. Why? Because you communicated to him in a way where he felt you, not just heard you. And that shifted his nervous system because, again, within the first 30 seconds, a man can feel us in the space and we can hijack their entire nervous system when we are dropped into our breath, our body, our pussy, and our sexuality. Facts. So again, Maybe he didn't happen that time. Maybe you guys are having another little moment in the kitchen or something. So then there's another opportunity. Right? Drop in, make sound, feel the sensation. Maybe you're craving his energy again, right? And so there you say, oh, wow, you know what? You're gonna be like, what, right? I am so craving the feeling of your energy and your strong arms wrapped around me right now. Literally getting goosebumps as I say it. He's gonna be like, whoa, compliment, craving, there's sex, right? His sexy body, his arms, something he can give to you, and also he can plug into himself. Woo! Irresistible polarity. So here we are, right? Expressing it, let go of the control, let him respond in his own way. Don't make him bad or wrong because he didn't respond perfectly. And also, don't deem yourself bad or wrong for not getting it perfectly right the first time, right? Practice and play with it. The PP philosophy, practice and play with it. This is how you get better and master any skill. And this, my loves, absolutely is a skill that you want to master. Because again, speaking from your pussy and being able to express your needs and your desires in a way that is an erotic, embodied way of communicating your desires that invites more connection, openness, expansion, and less distance is what we crave at our feminine core. And so my little final thoughts on this for you all, my little pearls of wisdom here is your pussy, your Yoni, she holds so much deep, 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 deep wisdom. When you speak from her, the goddess within, without shame, without guilt, without needing to justify or apologize in any way, you become a magnet on legs, a magnet for intimacy, more importantly, a magnet for passion and polarity, and even deeper, a magnet for deepest, highest level devotion. Try this out and watch what unfolds. You do this, you practice it, send me a note. I want to hear about it. Write a review about it on the podcast of what worked for you, what you loved about it. I want to hear from you. So send me a message. And happy speaking, happy receiving. And from my pussy to yours, may you have all of your highest and wildest feminine fantasies come through to fruition with so much grace, fun, playfulness, abundance, and ease. See you on next time, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Love you.